Hey, what's up, and welcome back to A-Aron Reacts. We're now on our fourth video in this mini series of Angelina Jordan's All of Me. And I strongly encourage you to go back and watch them sequentially. I make comments and references back to the earlier ones and comparisons. I've already done that so far, and I imagine that will continue. So, make sure you do that. All right, so here we've got the second performance that we're seeing her at, and it's at the same location as the first one she had done. 7 months, I believe, earlier at Prøysenhuset, and here she's 13. So this is July of 2019. And we did the sound check in the last one. So again, make sure you check that out. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be fairly similar to that. But again, as I've commented several times at this point, she always shines when it comes to live performances. So it'll be interesting to see what she does here.
Neste sang heter All of Me fra Billie Holiday.
Okay, so I do recognize this set, not only from, seeing the earlier one, but also that attire. So I'm pretty sure I'd done a reaction to this with a double feature with Andy Schnell, and I believe it was When We Were Young at the same one because I recognized those clothes. And if I'm not mistaken, those clothes are actually her grandmother Mary's artwork. Also worth noting, we've got the same band. And I also mentioned, I don't know if it'll come into play, but I remember from the When We Were Young, you can actually see it here. They have the little clothesline things, and we had the issue of the music flopping and stuff. So we'll probably see some of that here as well. It was a little windy of a day, I guess. Yeah, let's dive in. It was about the same tempo, slightly faster maybe.
Out of me, why not take out of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Yeah, goodbye, left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on being without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me?
Okay, so it just continues to blow my mind. How much she just, I mean, on a dime switches things and changes things up and so forth. And here, it could very well be my mindset and bias. I mean, that's real, right? Bias is real. So, I might be hearing it differently, but to me it feels like she's so much more on her game than what we heard from the rehearsal or sound check, which is not at all surprising. It's a sound check, right? Like, I mean, really. But here we see her going further along that spectrum to that, beyond, post-mortem Billie Holiday sound, right? That we saw in that private performance, the first one that we had done. And so we talked about in the sound check that it's a little bit more hybrid. I feel like she's mixing more elements of that in there. And just her sound is it's perfect. It's pristine. Like, this is absolutely flawless. Like, really. I really do notice, especially after that first performance, the difference in this band, right? And I think I was blown away so much by her When We Were Young. I don't know if I even commented on the band at all because I was so blown away by her. So I don't even know if I did, to be honest. We'll see. I'll probably go back and look or whatever. But anyway, I do notice the difference here. Here we go.
All of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you?
That's what the fifth rendition of this I've heard from her, and probably like the ninth time because I've gone back and listened to that a couple times in each or something. Every time I hear that cry, every time, I'm just it touches me.
Goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I?
And here, she did it differently, actually. She did it differently.
With eyes that cry. How?
Ooh, so just really soft, like almost fell back on it from a volume perspective. Cry, and then just a nice little vibrato in it. That was beautiful. That required so much control.
Left me with eyes that cry.
Oh,
How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the path that once was my heart, so I not take all of me.
so that would not have been that great of a performance without her. I mean, really, if you had just another good singer in there, because I wasn't feeling this band. I don't understand why he didn't use um like a brush instead of the stick on the drums. It just gave it the wrong feel. And then the guitar player, again, he understands the chord progressions. He understands the tunes. Excuse me, tune. Um, he's not off rhythm or off timing or anything at any point. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. It just doesn't pop in the same way as that previous band, which at her at this point, at the age of 13, is doing her a disservice, right? I talked in the early years about how I wish that she, and hope that in as she progresses, she gets some great, groups she performs with. She has in a lot of cases. I mean, she's done some fantastic groups, right? This is not one of them, in my opinion. Um, but her performance was rock solid. I do think this was much better than 7 months earlier. It felt like that was her first performance to me, and it was, I think. She sang it fine, but here she had so much more confidence. She was so much bolder in terms of her choices. She mixed her style. She did more with it. And then yeah, that cry at the end. Jeez. All right, I guess we'll leave it at this. Thank you much. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, then please do so now. If you're an angel, check out the link in my description for a membership where you get some cool stuff. Regardless, I appreciate you. We will see you in the next one.